So they're kind of like 1, 2, 3. And if they try to change yeah, they can't. They absolutely
Morning.
You guys behind the red today? Focus guys behind the red. Okay. Hi guys, put you behind the red together.
Fresh fish from all over Cyprus and the military bases. Now it's not so crowded because it's middle of August and many Cypriots went for holidays abroad or went to Paphos, to Larnaca. After the 15th of August they will come back to this area. On the right side of the road is the Stadium of Kurion. Large shape, it measures 200 by 25 meters. Was built during the 2nd century AD and was destroyed by earthquakes during the 4th century and in this area, more than 125 square kilometers burned down. Help from other countries. The European Union very late. They decided to help us when it was late. Anyway, so higher up you will see more bad, but the big disaster is on the right side, the parallel road to the taxis via the villages Alassa. And the fire was burning for a week because many olive trees, many carob trees, and this tree, the wood is burned very slow. So during winter, people who use fireplaces, they choose to buy wood from this kind of trees. It's more expensive, of course, but now after the big fire, I don't know next year about the wines, about the fire, but we will see. We will see. It was very windy for more than a week. Usually in Cyprus the wind during summer starts after 11 and until 5 there is no wind, but that week 24 hours continuously. From north to south, 90. The distance between Cyprus and Turkey, north of the island, in some points is only 60. Syria east, 90. Egypt south, 325. And from the nearest Greek island, Rhodos or Rhodes, northwest, 400 kilometers is the eastern island in the Mediterranean among 3 continents: Europe, Asia, Africa. Miles now as an area of 250, and the nearest Greek island 300 miles. The population of this small island is less than 1,923,000, of which 85% are Greek Cypriots, less than 10% Turkish Cypriots, and the remaining 5 are British, Armenians, Maronites. The Maronites are called like that because their patron saint is Saint Maron or Maronas, Maronites, and came centuries ago. Lebanon, Syria, very picturesque mountain village, and survived from the fire. 700 meters above sea level. Population less than 300. Weekends, Christmas, Easter, summer more. There are furnished traditional houses for rent, 4 models. The principal church of Omodos, a church of an old monastery in the center of the village, dedicated to the Holy Cross. 14th of September, a big religious fair take place near the church in the square of the village. There are 3-4 in the village. They bake a special kind of bread, and they don't use ordinary yeast, but a sort of yeast made of the froth of chickpeas. Very few ladies of the village know how to make this yeast, and the rest buy from them. And they have their also secrets, of course. They bake the bread and make it crispy, last many weeks. Ladies of the village before the harvest of the grapes, and after the harvest to make the wine, to make sweets. Took them around 3 months, so they couldn't bake fresh bread every week for their families. Bake before the harvest this bread, the crispy bread, and lasted for a couple of months. Soak it in water or milk with a piece of cheese, 2-3 olives. Very quick lunch. And on the way to the center of the village, we will pass by a bakery, and you may taste the bread and roasted nuts. In the church of the monastery there are 3 crosses, important, made of silver and gold. In one of the 3 crosses, in a very small box in the center of the cross, there is a piece of the holy rope, the rope that they used to tie the hands of Christ on the way to the Calvary, and also a small piece of the Holy Cross left by Saint Helena. So the cross, the wood of the cross and the holy robe in that small box in the center of one of the 3 crosses. The history of the monastery of the church goes back to the 4th century, the times of Saint Helena, and according to tradition the first church was a cave, and she left in the cave the piece of the Holy Cross, and then over the cave built the first church, over the ruins of the first church the second, the third one, from the 18th century. Is not active monastery, and recently started changing the rooms of the monastery into museums, folk art museum, needlework museum, and they will continue to use it as as a museum. The church as the main church.